545.
Horrible. I'm on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. DeMonte Noah requested permission to appear on the Michigan Court Rule 8.120 under the supervision of Assistant Public Defender Andrew Bannis.
Good morning, Mr. Noah. Permission is granted.
Your Honor, can I have a breakout room with Mr. Smith?
Certainly. You can also ask for those when other cases are in the process, because then this conversation could already be done. So.
Okay, my apologies, Your Honor.
Ypsilanti Township versus Victoria Tiggs, 21T002.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Andrew Bannisford on behalf of Ms. Tiggs.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Tiggs. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
It sounds like I'm just doing okay too. It's gonna be one of those days, I can tell. All right, we're here for a pretrial today.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. After that last hearing, this is going to sound awkward, but I'm trying to find the file for Ms. Tiggs. I apologize. Ms. Tiggs, we just spoke yesterday, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, and we discussed you wanted to set this for a trial?
Yes.
Okay. And I apologize. I don't recall where, did you want a jury trial or a bench trial?
We're going to do a bench trial.
Yes, okay, thank you. Your Honor, I did speak with Ms. Tiggs. She's aware of her right to a jury trial and is requesting a bench.
Thank you. Ms. Tiggs, as your attorney just said, you have a constitutional right to have a trial by jury, at which time 6 people would decide whether or not you committed the offense that you're alleged to have committed. If you so choose, you can waive that right and have a trial by a judge. That's what a bench trial is. I'm the judge in this court, so I'd be making that decision. Is that what you're choosing to do, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, the township also waives the bench.
Thank you. All right, does September the 21st work for a non-jury trial date?
That's fine.
Yeah.
with me.
September
Yes, Your Honor.
21st, 2021 at 2 p.m. And bond will continue. Thank you for giving me my first somewhat smooth case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you. I'll see you on the 21st, ma'am.
Yes, good luck.
Thank you. Ypsilanti Township versus Deron Hamilton, 20T00631.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
And they changed my lawyer already?
Andrew Bannis on behalf of Mr. Hamilton. Your Honor, I'm sorry, I did request a breakout room with Mr. Hamilton, but I haven't been able to do that yet. I am ready on Pauline Macharia case. She's present, if that would be helpful.
All right, thank you. I'll pass this matter for a moment. People of the Township of Ypsilanti versus Pauline Mancheria, case number 21T00366.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Andrew Bannis on behalf of Ms. Macharia, who's present. Ma'am, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
Okay.
Good morning,
Can
Ms.
you hear me now?
Yes. How are you, ma'am?
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Your Honor,
You look better than me.
Your Honor, I spoke with my client this weekend and informed her that our office has a client because we have represented the complaining witness in other cases previously. I filed the motion to withdraw.
Yes, I am in receipt of that motion and I will sign it. And I'm going to appoint Voha Yermolenko to represent Ms. Mancharia. How do you pronounce her name?
Masharia.
Masharia. Thank you.
Masharia.
All right. Do you understand what's happening here today, ma'am?
Okay, see, for withdrawal.
Yeah, their office represented the complaining witness, Mr. Bowman,
Uh-huh.
and they may have information that would be in conflict with that. They can't violate those conflict rules. So then I'm going to appoint you a new attorney. Okay, ma'am?
Oh. Okay.
So you'll get an attorney named, they call her Olga, but
Olga?
Olga Yermolenko.
Olga, like the restaurant?
Yeah, just like the restaurant. That's what they call her. That's not her actual first name, but that's what she goes by. Okay.
Okay.
And
All
so
right.
that's who I'm appointing to represent you. Okay, ma'am?
Okay.
And do you want her phone number?
Can I, a pen? Can she get my phone number?
Yeah, she'll get your phone number. She'll call you. Okay.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank
So
you.
when will be the next court date?
Yes, I'm going to give you that.
Okay,
I'm
thank
going to
you.
put this over for 3 weeks to give her time to meet with you.
Okay.
So your next court date will be August the 23rd
Okay.
at 9 a.m. again, okay?
All right. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. All right.
All right, we'll give you your breakout room now. And that's with Mr. Theron Hamilton. Give me one moment and then do that. All right, you can take it. Good morning. There's a phone number that was just let into the virtual courtroom. It ends in 0221. Could you please tell us your first and last name?
My first name is Duncan. Last name is Scott.
Mr. Duncan Scott, we will
Yes, ma'am.
rename you. Please mute your phone until your case is called. You can do that by pressing the star and the 6.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Push the star.
And 6.
Is that I push star?
Star and then the 6.
Then 6. Okay. Did I do it?
No, you didn't. You're still here. So you have to do them right in succession. Star and then 6. Mr. Watson, do you have the public defender's office as well? I believe you do. Yep. Yeah, we'll have to wait until Mr. Bannis returns before we can call any more cases. Okay, so when he's back in the breakout room, then we'll begin recalling cases, everyone. Your audio is not working very well, Mr. Watson.
my Bluetooth. I have a low
Okay,
speaker.
there you go.
Uh,
Now,
I'll probably have to jump in on my other phone and like leave and come back because this speaker is low. I will have to hold it up to my ear. Like I was using my iPad, my AirPod to hear you, but you couldn't hear me.
now it's well, what I don't know what you're doing right now, but it works just fine right now.
Oh, I
Oh,
cut my Bluetooth
but you
completely
can't,
off.
no, you can't hear me. I see what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can hop off and hop back on. You have time. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do that right now. I'll be right
All
back.
right. Thank you. Where's Mr. Watson back?
Teresa just got here. You want your earpiece or not?
Is 7438, is this you again, Mr. Duncan Scott?
No, my name is Mr. Hicks, Ricky.
Ricky Hicks. Okay, thank you, sir. We will rename you, and please mute your device until your case is called. You can do that by pressing the star and the 6 button, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, the court will call the case of the State of Michigan versus Mark Smith, 19S00545.
Laura Blumberg on behalf of the people.
And DeMartino requested permission to appear in the Michigan Court Rule 8.120 under supervision of Assistant Public Defender Andrew Bannis.
I've already given information on this particular case, Mr. Noble, so you're all set for today.
Okay, so after speaking with Mr. Smith in the breakout room, talk to him about his constitutional right to a jury trial, and he wishes to waive that right and set it for a bench trial.
Thank you so much. Mr. Smith,
Yeah.
as your attorney had just indicated, you have a constitutional right to have a trial by jury, at which time 6 people would decide whether or not you committed the offense that you're alleged to have committed. You can waive that right if you so choose and have a trial by a judge. I'm the judge in this court, and I will be making that decision. That's what a bench trial is. Is that what you're choosing to do, sir?
I want to trial by judge.
Right. All right. So you are waiving your right to the jury, correct?
Correct.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Willenbury?
People waive, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right. Does the September 21st date work?
Yes, Your Honor.
September 21st, 2021 at 2 p.m. Bond is continued. We'll see you on September 21st, Mr. Smith.
Okay. Thank
You.
May I get the attorney's number,
May you get the attorney's what, sir?
phone number,
Oh,
name and phone number?
his name is Andrew Banis. Do you want that in the chat, Mr. Banis, or you want to go ahead and?
Yes, Your Honor, I added it before, but it's possible my client wasn't on yet, so he wouldn't have access to that. So that's my cell phone, which I just put in the chat, Mr. Smith.
Do you know how to use the chat feature, Mr. Smith?
Or
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, you're all set, sir. Have a good day. Ypsilanti Township versus Theron Hamilton, 20T00631. Oh, yeah.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Andrew Banis with and on behalf of Mr. Hamilton, who's present.
All right, this matter is scheduled for a pretrial today and a bond violation.
Yes, Your Honor. As to the pretrial, we're requesting a jury trial on the final settlement conference date. My understanding is that the allegation is that Mr. Hamilton had contact with the alleged victim. I'm not aware of any new charges arising from that, and I wouldn't expect there to be. And I haven't, I don't know if Mr. Barnett, are you aware of anything arising out of that?
I don't believe there are new charges arising out of it. It's somewhat more involved than just mere contact. He was at the residence of the victim in this case and was making some threatening statements towards her. Nothing that arose to the level of a new assault charge or case, but troubling nonetheless, I guess.
So, Your Honor, I think as long as I would, of course, normally have my client stand mute if there were any charges to protect his rights. But having spoken with him, I believe he does want to explain what happened. But also, I did remind him of the no contact order. And even if someone contacts you, you can't contact them back because then you get jammed up and you're in violation of a court order. So I believe he understands that. So I think he wishes to admit to the contact with the explanation. And I do understand that could affect his bond, but I'll hold off on. I would like him to be released on a personal bond if possible. He's very concerned about his SSI being cut off, and he doesn't have any family here, but he can stay at a hotel until he can find him a better residence pending trial.
Can I talk to her now?
Well, hold on a second, please.
All right, let's deal with the bond violation issue first. So the allegation is that he violated the conditions of his bond. One of those conditions is to not have any contact. Is it pronounced Navia?
I'm not certain, but that is her first name, according to the police report.
Set by Judge Charlie Pope, who is my predecessor. And from what I hear, he doesn't have any family here, so he left another state and came here. Yeah.
Y'all got him right there. Y'all can hear him.
516 Woodburn Drive. And it appears that he did both of those things is what the allegation is. Is that correct, Mr. Barnett?
I believe so. I had a little bit of a hard time hearing what you were saying.
Okay. The allegation is that no worries. It's I couldn't hear. I couldn't tell whether people could hear me or not. But he was supposed to have no contact with Navia Hall and do not go to 516 Woodburn Drive. And is the allegation that he did both of those things, or he just had contact?
No, the allegation is that he was at that location. I believe it was that. Well, let me confirm. Yes, he was at that location and had contact with the victim in this case.
And he did that, and I believe he came from a different state based on what he said to me at the arraignment.
Yeah, in fairness, it does appear that the victim had, offered him a place to stay, and that's why he came to her location. I believe he was on bench warrant status at the time and had left the state, which I guess is another issue. And then once he was at the location where the victim was residing, they had some kind of verbal, conflict, and then he made some threats to her that he was going to beat her up, is the words in the police report.
Yes, that appears to be the allegations, and it does appear that he was on bench warrant status. He has failed to appear 1, 2, 3 times. Every time that he's been set for a pretrial, he has failed to appear.
Your Honor, I was in New Orleans because I'm not from here, Your Honor, and my phone was having bad connectivity, and you know what I'm saying? This girl called me begging me, talking about her son wanted me. He was depressed. He wasn't eating. He wanted me to come back. And she even had paid for the Greyhound ticket for me to come back. And that's why I came back. You know what I'm saying? She called me on my phone when I was on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, where I'm from, begging me to come back, crying on the phone, harassing me every day when I was down there. She'll tell you that. She even paid for the Greyhound ticket. I told her I can't come up here because I ain't supposed to be around her. I told her I ain't want to be with her when I got up here. So she called the police and said I threatened her because I told her I ain't want to be with her no more.
But you are in violation of your bond conditions, sir. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm not sure how what you're telling me helps you is the problem I'm having with this. You're telling me that
I got my money to buy now. I got my money to buy now, but their system don't support my SSI card. We tried already. My money on there, but they can't get it with my card because they say my card take a PIN number and they can't do cards that take PIN number. They can't take debit cards, they take credit cards. I already tried to buy now. I did that on yesterday. And I was a Hurricane Katrina victim. They got me locked in a cell and I got post-traumatic stress. I ain't got no medicine. I ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? I almost drowned 4 times in Hurricane Katrina, and I got post-traumatic stress, and they got me locked in this cell, and I can't be, and I can't do it. I promise you I won't go back around her, call her, say anything to her, and I won't miss court no more. I learned my lesson. I promise you I did. I promise you I won't miss court no more.
What is Mr. Hamilton's past criminal history, please?
Your Honor, unfortunately, I don't have access to lien, so I don't have that information.
They gonna cut my income off, Your Honor, while I'm in here. If I'm in here too long, they gonna cut my income off, then I ain't gonna have nothing.
All right, yeah, can you print it for me? All right, I'm gonna pass this. I need to see his past criminal history. One second, maybe I have it here. One second. No, I don't. All right, I'm gonna pass this. I'll recall it. Ypsilanti Township versus Stephen Watson, 21T00183 and 21T00364.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
DeMonte Noble requested permission to appear under Michigan Court Rule 8.120 under the supervision of Assistant Public Defender Andrew Bannis.
Permission is granted.
Our office was able to get in contact with Mr. Watson, and he was informed of his rights to a jury trial. And after speaking with him, he decided to waive his right to a jury trial and will be requesting a bench trial.
Thank you, sir. You are entitled, can you hear me this time?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're entitled to have a trial by jury in this particular case, at which time 6 people would decide whether or not you committed the offense that you're alleged, well, in this case, it would be the offenses that you're alleged to have committed. And if you so choose, you could waive that right and have a trial by a judge. I'm the judge in this court, and so I will be making that decision. Is that what you're choosing to do today, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, the township would also waive the bench.
Thank you. Non-jury trial will be scheduled for September 21st, if that works.
That's fine with the people.
That works, Your Honor.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my fiance, which is the alleged victim in the case, sent a message through her uncle, because that's my uncle. We are set to get married. She's like on the verge to losing her job because we had it set up in a system where she worked first shift. I keep my kids during the morning, and I was about to go back on afternoons, and it's kind of hard, and I don't want her to lose her job. And my kids is like kind of wanting me home.
Well, Mr. Barnett would have to have some communication with her before I'd be willing to do that, where she was in agreement to having consensual contact.
Okay.
And I haven't heard from the victim about that issue, Your Honor, so.
Okay, because I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem. I just want to be able to get home to my kids. I do miss my kids,
Mr. Barnett, do you want me to pass it to see if you can reach her?
I do have some concerns, despite what she may have to say too, because we have 2 cases with the same victim, and that causes me some concern. So I'm not sure I would be agreeable, even if the victim was requesting that. So
the first one I knew. Okay, the first one I knew.
Mr. Watson, I don't want you to say anything about the cases themselves. I apologize for interrupting. One of the reasons.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bannis, go ahead.
No, one of the reasons that I believe one of the reasons Mr. Watson is requesting a bench trial is because it would be on the docket sooner rather than later.
What I can promise to do too, I'll go ahead and reach out to her and then consider that. And if I'm comfortable with it, I can reach out to Mr. Bannis and we could get a stipulation to modify the bond to the court.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
September 21st, 2021 at 2 p.m. for non-jury.
September. You say September 21st?
Yes,
Oh.
at 2 p.m. And bond is continued in both cases.
2 p.m. Okay. I never. I'll talk to my lawyer about it later because the first one I knew nothing about.
You didn't know,
I didn't know because like when they came to the house, I never was taken to jail, so I never knew there was even a case brought against me.
okay, it appears that you were arraigned in front of the magistrate on July 12th on both cases.
Yeah, but prior to being arraigned on that, I
I
knew nothing about the first one.
see what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am. That's all I had to say about the cases. Like I never knew nothing about the first one, but the second one I did know about because they took me to jail. I was polite with the police officers, went with no problem, because it really wasn't no problem.
Okay. All right, thank you. And your attorney can always, prior to then, if it becomes something that needs to happen, make a motion before the court. All right,
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
you're welcome.
You guys have a good day.
Thank you, you too. Is Mr. Duncan Scott still here? I don't see him. Okay, yes, please. The court will call the State of Michigan versus Duncan Scott, 17 FB 1406.
Honorable, I'm bringing on behalf of the people.
Andrew Banis with on behalf of Mr. Scott.
Mr. Scott, please unmute your device by hitting the *6. Mr. Scott, *6. Are you sure that's him? Mr. Duncan Scott, if you're there, please hit *6. You have to hit them right after each other to unmute your device. Did you mute him? All right, we're gonna have to pass this. Apparently he can't figure out how to unmute, if that is him. Ypsilanti. One second. I will recall the case of Ypsilanti Township versus Theron Hamilton 20T003.
Again, Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Andrew Banis with on behalf of Mr. Hamilton.
I need to have a breakout session with the council and probation, please.
Damn, what you want me- what the- One motherfucking case, and that's in New Orleans against a female. And that was in motherfucking 2016. That's one. And this one, that's two. That's it. Judges act like they don't know how dirty these females can be. They act like they don't know that. They'll call the police on you for nothing. Because you don't want to be with them no more. They know that shit. Oh man, they doing this shit for years, and they still letting this shit get away with it. They still letting them get away with it. She locked me up. She giving that bitch what she want. That's what that bitch want me to lock her.
Mr. Hamilton, your microphone is not muted, sir.
Sorry, ma'am. I ain't know. I apologize.
Go up first. And then take trail all the way from neighborhood and come out by West Middle, you'll be straight on Washington by Mr.
All right, I've had an opportunity we're back on the record in the Ron Hamilton matter. I've had an opportunity to review the record for the defendant, which is quite extensive. There are so many pages in this particular record that I can't count the total number of pages.
This is shoplifting though. It's because I was homeless. It's shoplifting. Because I was homeless. I was stealing food, stuff like that. That's what it basically is, shoplifting. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's shopping.
I reviewed the report. There are a number of resisting, obstructing, and there's an unarmed robbery from 2017 that he pled guilty to. I'm not going to change the bond in this particular case. I will set a final settlement conference for this matter on August 26, 2021 at 11 a.m. Trial will be on September the 3rd, 2021, and that's at 9 a.m.
I still gotta go to the other jail for violation of probation.
Bond is continued. Thank you. State of Michigan versus Ricky Hicks, 21S00256.
Laura Willenberg on behalf of the people.
Andrew Banis with and on behalf of Mr. Hicks, who I believe is present.
Yes, Mr. Hicks is present. Mr. Hicks, would you please unmute your device by hitting the *6, please? Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm all right, John. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. All right, we're here for a pretrial and a show cause today. Mr. Hicks apparently must have called into the clerk's office and said he didn't have the Zoom link that we had sent. So he was not here for the pretrial on June 28th. So I already know why he wasn't present. Is that correct, Mr. Hicks?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Banis?
Yes, Your Honor. As to the pretrial, and I just want to confirm this with Mr. Hicks, but he and I discussed the case previously, and he was requesting a bench trial and waiving his right to a jury trial. Is that correct, Mr. Hicks?
Yes, a judge trial. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. I have to go over some rights in the record with you so we make sure we have a clear understanding. You understand that you have a constitutional right to have a trial by jury, at which time 6 people would decide whether or not you committed the offense you're alleged to have committed. It is your right to waive that if you so choose and go with a non-jury trial or a bench trial, which is a judge trial. I'm the judge in this court, so I would be making that decision. Is that what you're choosing to do, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Ms. Willenberg?
The people waive, Your Honor.
Thank you. I don't remember how many of these I've done. At least 4. All right, September 21st, 2021. And that's at 2 p.m. for your non-jury trial, sir, okay?
Ma'am, can you repeat that so I can write it down, please?
Of course, September 21st, 2021. At 2
At what time?
2 p.m.
September 21st, 2021 at 2 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Do I need to keep this number to call directly to the court system?
Yes, you do. I would hope that you could get on Zoom. If you're not able to get on the Zoom where we can actually see your face, then maybe you need to speak with your attorney about requesting in person.
Okay. September 21st, 2021 at 2?
At 2. Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
All right.
Actually, Your Honor, if I may, I'm sorry, I don't want to waste time here, but just a really quick question since Mr. Hicks is here. Mr. Hicks, and I'll call you
Yes.
after court, but did you happen to receive my email yesterday with the Zoom link or no?
Well, what had happened is the reason I couldn't get on the Zoom link, the phone that I told you I could get on, I dropped and cracked it and it broke the charger point off. So that phone is no good. The screen went black. It wouldn't even come back on. So
Okay.
I threw it in the garbage. I had to get another.
All right. I'm just glad to hear you got my email. I'll follow up with my client, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, once you're out of court and everything, before your day winds up, you can just call me, stay on my phone, and we can discuss what I need to do.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Continue. Bye-bye, Mr. Hicks.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You mean I can do them, I can let them in now. All right, there's a phone number that was just let into the virtual courtroom. It ends in 3479. 3479. Could you please tell us your first and last name?
Joseph Wise.
Hello, Mr. Wise. We will rename you.
Thank you.
You can mute your device until your case is called, okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You can hit that, you can do that by doing *6 successively, *6, one right after the other. State of Michigan versus Darion Baker. Case numbers 20S00162 as well as 19W00125A and 20W000798A.
Laura Lundberg on behalf of the people.
Andrew Banis with on behalf of Mr. Baker.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Your Honor, I'm appearing on the 20S162 case. We had a jury selection. Mr. Baker was not present, and I did speak with him about it. He informed me he was in custody on that day. Normally, I checked the various websites. Mr. Baker, is that correct, that you were in custody?
From the 29th up to the 7th.
Where were you in custody at, sir?
Wayne County Jail in Detroit.
So he failed to appear both for the jury trial as well as the bond violation. I don't recall whether the people were ready to proceed on that case or not.
The people were, Your Honor, we were prepared to select a jury on that day.
All right, thank you. Oh, I see, he failed to appear for the actual jury selection. All right, so what is your request with respect to this, Mr. Banis?
Your Honor, I did reach out to Ms. Willenbring on this. I'm not sure if we're in agreement, but I am requesting another jury selection date. I don't believe, I'd prefer it not be the very next one, which is this Friday, given the timing, but as soon as possible after that.
Your Honor, I have been in conversation with Mr. Banis. I also would prefer not this Friday, given the short notice. There is an offer in this matter to plead to malicious destruction of a building under 200 with restitution, and that offer will remain open for the time being.
Okay. I was actually wanted to talk about what she just said, because she kind of said it fast. So can you repeat that for me so I can hear?
The offer is to plead to an added count 2 of malicious destruction of a building under $200 and restitution for the damage. In exchange, count 1 will be dismissed.
And count 1 was, what was count 1?
Count 1 is malicious destruction of a building, $200 to $1,000.
And so is there more than one count that I'm being charged with, or?
So, Mr. Baker, basically the offer is to reduce this from a 1-year maximum misdemeanor to a 93-day maximum misdemeanor. plus a financial component, fines and costs, and restitution. We discussed that at one point, but it sounds like you want to reconsider that. Your Honor, would you be willing to, I'm not sure what jury selection date you were going to put this on, but what if we put this at the final settlement conference, see if we can resolve this? We did discuss the offer previously, but it sounds like there's a possibility we don't need a trial, but I'm not certain.
Thank you. I was considering the September jury selection date and the final settlement conference that goes along with that as well, because the court has found that having a final settlement conference assists the court in making sure we have communication with counsel. So just so that you're clear, Mr. Baker, you are charged in this particular case with 1 count of malicious destruction of a building, 200 or more. That is a 1-year maximum with a penalty of $2,000 plus fines and costs, up to $2,000 plus fines and costs. The offer would be for you to plead to a lesser offense of malicious destruction of a building, 200 or less, and that under 200. And that is a 93-day misdemeanor. Let's see here.
That's correct, Your Honor. 93 days.
Yeah, I heard 93 days.
$500 fine.
And or $500 plus court costs. So the financial component is much different, as well as the maximum amount of penalties that you could potentially be suffered. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah, I will actually, if it's okay that me and Andrew can talk a little more, like have a chance to talk a little more about it, because I understand what you're saying, but I don't want to make the wrong decision, basically. So
I understand. All right. So you want me to set this for the final settlement conference date that I was talking about, so you have a chance to think about it more?
yeah, but that won't eliminate the chance of me having a trial, right?
No, it does not.
Okay. Yep, we can do that.
Final settlement conference will be on August 26th, 2021 at 11 a.m. Jury selection will be on September 3rd, 2021.
Your Honor,
Yes.
given that the victim was present at the last final settlement conference, may she be excused from this final settlement conference?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, can I hear the dates one more time, please, for this?
Sure. August 26th, 2021 at 11. And September 3rd for jury selection at 9. I'm going to put the pre-trials on the driving while license suspended. Mr. Bannis, I'm sorry, Mr. Barnett, did you actually enter an appearance? I'm sorry.
I believe I did. I can do it again. Paul Barnett on behalf of the township. I'm going to ask that we just set those pre-trials for the same final settlement date, and I'll chat with Mr. Bannis and maybe we can wrap that into any kind of resolution.
All right. Is Mr. Baker working to get his license back together?
Yeah, I'm working on that. I haven't really been in contact with Secretary of State, but I am working on getting my license back.
What are you doing that's working on that, sir?
Like I know I got some stuff in Jackson County. That's a couple $100. So I'm working on trying to get stuff situated to where I can make payments. I believe I have one in, I have a ticket in, in Ypsilanti.
We are Ypsilanti. We're one of the Ypsilantis. All right. Make sure you pay on those tickets, sir. When you come back here on August 26th, you should have some progress on that. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. See you here August 26th. Peace me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Duncan Scott, are you able to unmute now? Yep, he is. Great.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. I'm here.
State of Michigan versus Duncan Scott, 17 FB 1406.
Laura Willenberg on behalf of the people.
Andrew Van Splitten on behalf of Mr. Scott.
All right, we're here for another review in this matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Scott. This is Andrew, your lawyer, but we spoke yesterday, so go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. My issue is not the class, ma'am. It's just that I don't have the money. So I just found I'm working on it. This company is going to hire me. They pay every 2 weeks. It's only 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. It'll be from 5 to 9. And I'm trying to get the way so I can pay this. It's not. I have a whole package for the ADA class. I've got all that printed out for the ADA class. I have the package, but I just don't have the money to start the class. That's what I've got to do. That's about what I'm trying to find me a little, guy's going to help me find this, help me get this job. I'm pretty sure I'm not 98% I'm going to get the job because I can wax and clean floors. At least I can do that, And this is what I'm doing, to be honest. Not that I don't want to do the class, but I don't have the money. And I'm just, trying to get back on my feet. I have another case what I'm doing with my get my license back, and I did the community service work. I got to get a form to take so I can send a form in so it shows that I did over 100 hours of community service work. I only had to do 60. So I was kind of for food gatherers. I was passing out food to people, and sometimes I would bring a lot of food home and then distribute it out to people in the neighborhood who couldn't get up to get the food. So I'm doing the best I can. I just don't have money. That's what I'm working on, trying to get money so I can get this stuff started. Hope I'm not babbling.
You're not. I'm just taking it all in, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, class is not a problem for me. It's just to have the money. And they won't nobody let me in to have some money to give them. So that's why I'm trying to do this, get this job. My man, he came over yesterday and got my paperwork and everything. Gonna give it to his boss. His boss was like, we're gonna get you in. It said, I've got to do a little background check. Well, I told him where my background check. He said, we're not worried about this. I'm gonna get you in here regardless of the background check. I just want to have this on my file. Oh boy.
Your Honor, I had the same conversation with my client, and he was, as you can see in the report, I think he was trying to think out of the box of maybe some alternatives. But he, I spoke with him, whether it was some sort of work program or anything. But I spoke with him yesterday, as he told you today. He does really want to do these classes, and I am aware of the company that he has applied to. I've located their website. It's a facility services company. And so he's pretty confident he's going to get that job very soon.
And I'm going to join for 45 days to see if he has a job and if he's in that. This is the last opportunity for him to get into this class. If he's not in that class, then he's just going to do some jail time.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I heard you.
It's 45 days plus. September 13th. Actually, I'll do it a little later than that. September 20th, 2021 at 10 a.m.
Yes, sir. I got that.
All right. Thank you, sir. See you then. Hopefully you're in that class. I want you to be in that class. I don't want to have to do the alternative, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for being so patient with me.
Yes, sir. All right,
I
sir.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Mr. Banis, are you ready on the James Miller matter?
I believe so, Your Honor. 1 second. Yes, Your Honor.
State of Michigan versus James Miller, case numbers 19 FB 1855, as well as 19 T 00499.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Laura Willenberg on behalf of the people.
Andrew Banis with it on behalf of Mr. Miller. Can you hear us, sir? Mr. Miller?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello,
Okay.
Mr. Miller.
Hello.
All right, we're back here on the review today. He was sentenced for his violation of probation back on May 3rd. At that time, I ordered him to pay his, to make his payments and complete 5 days in the jail program. And it appears as of the writing of the report, he had not made any additional payments. And in addition to that, he forgot to do his jail work program. So has he done any? Did he was gonna try to get in to get a couple of them done? Did that happen?
He was, and then he can speak with you directly, of course, also. He knows he has to do it. I think he was hoping he could go in this weekend. He had custody of his children this weekend, so that prevented him to. But my understanding is he's taken the entire week off from work. And he says he can go every single day if possible from this entire week, including this upcoming weekend. Is that correct, Mr. Miller?
Yes.
I gave him that opportunity last time to get this done.
I know, Your Honor. And, you know, I'm reading the same report as you, and I spoke with Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, you're going to do the jail work program, right? You're required to?
Yes, this week I can get it all done. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can go in first day they open up, because I know they have scheduled days that they do it. First day that they start doing it this week, I can go until I get it done.
Ms. Johnson, when is the first day they have it scheduled?
I believe they're closed on Tuesdays, so he can go there on Wednesday, but he did reach out to a work program. I did get an email that he was going to do it on Saturday or Sunday and today, but he missed on Sunday. But he did make contact with Officer 2.
So, Your Honor, that would be, and I know you already told him to do this, but if you don't increase it, Wednesday through Sunday would be 5 days.
I'm going to adjourn the review today. To August 16th. At 9 a.m. Jail work program needs to be done. If it's not done, then I'm gonna give you 2 days for every day that's not done in the Washtenaw County Jail. August 16th, 2021 at 9.
Thank you. Did you hear that, Mr. Miller?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. See you here then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. State of Michigan versus Joseph Wise. Case number 21S00055.
Laura Lundberg on behalf of the people.
Andrew Vanis with it on behalf of Mr. Wise.
Mr. Wise, are you there, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, today's the day and time that's scheduled for sentencing on this violation of probation. It gave him an opportunity to get into the Accountable Choices program. It appears that has not happened.
Yes, Your Honor, and the probation department's recommendation to you because of that is 5 days in the jail and then continue probation once jail is complete. What I don't know is, Mr. Wise, have you reached out recently to get back into that program?
Yes, sir. I did yesterday.
Okay, to whom did you speak with? Who did you speak with?
I spoke directly with Mr. Henderson.
Okay, and do you know when you're going to be able to restart that program?
I was talking to him about restarting the program this week, sir.
Is there anything that your client wants to say before he's sentenced on the violation of probation?
Mr. Wise, if there's anything else you want to say to the judge, that's fine. I'll say on your behalf that obviously you were supposed to be back in by today. So I'm going to ask that you be given a chance to do that this week. But the judge is going to sentence you today. And if you want to say anything to her about why you haven't been able to do that yet, please do so now.
I had
Wise.
car problems last week, so I couldn't make it last week.
Mr. Wise, you
Yes,
were
ma'am.
going to be back on June 28th. You've had over a month and a half to get this done and nothing has happened.
My job keeps asking me to come in. I keep saying I can't do this. I have specific obligations I have to do.
5 days, Washtenaw County Jail. When will you turn yourself in?
Whenever I can.
All right, if you don't turn yourself in here and give me a date, then I'll issue a bench warrant.
Okay.
Mr. Wise, which days do you have off from work during the week?
Not like I can tell.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm asking, and I'm sure the judge probably realizes this, is I'm trying to see if like a weekend, trying to see if you can report in on a day off just to minimize interference with your job.
The jail's not doing weekend programs. They notified me this weekend that they're not doing that, so that's not an option.
Okay.
I'll turn myself whenever I can.
All right, warrant to issue.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wise, my recommendation is just do that as soon as possible so that you're not picked up on a traffic stop or something.
No bond. State of Michigan.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you. I'll pass. I will give you a breakout room so you can speak with your client, Mr. Keith Moore. Is that what you need to do, Mr. Vanis?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. State of Michigan versus Keith Moore, 21S00377.
Oh, yeah. On behalf of the people.
Andrew Banners with it on behalf of Mr. Moore, who is present, and I just spoke with him, Your Honor. There are two things for today. One is his bond. I believe he already has a personal bond, but it was at the arraignment conditional on release to the Crisis Residential Services at CMH. I was told by Ms. Desiree, who is maybe still present there from CMH, that although he's not eligible for that, there was a determination. They are working on trying to get him a temporary residence in a hotel. So that is still to be determined. So I'm hoping that will work out for him. And as to the case itself, Your Honor, since this, and also in addition, since this is not holding him, because he has a personal bond with that condition, I'm asking for an adjournment so I can have some additional discussion with both my client and Ms. Willingbring about this case.
Ms. Willingbring, do you have any comment on the CMH release to a hotel?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Right. Defendant may be released to CMH in whatever capacity for housing they can provide. All other provisions of the bond remain the same. How long do you need for your adjournment?
2 weeks, please, if that's an available date.
Adjourned to August 16th, 2021 at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
State of Michigan versus Timothy Scott, 21 FB 1506, as well as 20 FB 1525.
Laura Willingbring on behalf of the people.
Andrew Bannis with it on behalf of Mr. Scott.
Well, Mr.
Good
Scott,
morning, Your
how
Honor.
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Your Honor, I'm in receipt of a report from probation, which I think I should discuss with Mr. Scott. If I could have a breakout room, I would appreciate it. I don't need a breakout room for Mr. Haruska Dennis, by the way, who's.
All right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to arraign Mr. Scott on his violation and then give you a breakout room so he can, the two of you can determine what he chooses to do about this.
Thank you.
Mr. Scott, you're here on a request and assignments for violation of probation. So today is the end time for you to be arraigned on violating your probation. The terms that are alleged to have been violated are positive drug and alcohol screens on July 8th, July 9th, July 13th, July 15th, and July 19th in violation of the no drug and or alcohol conditions of your probation. And
What
that
I wanted to
in case
What I
number.
want because like I was smoking weed.
Mr. Smith,
before, though,
Mr.
so
Scott, I'm sorry, I'm still talking.
I'm sorry.
And then that is same violation, I believe, in case number 20 FB 1525. So having said that, sir, you have a right to have a hearing in these matters, or you could actually plead guilty to the violation. If you have a hearing and you're found guilty of the violation, or you plead guilty to the violation, you could be subjected to the original maximum penalties in this case. In these cases, in case number 20 FB 1525, the maximum penalty is 1 year in the Washtenaw County Jail. And in case number, that is the same for both of these charges. The maximum is 1 year in the Washtenaw County Jail. So I will let you think about what you want to do and discuss this matter with your attorney. So I'll pass it. And then once I'm done with this next case, I'll give you a breakout room with your attorney. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. State of Michigan versus Zachariah Dennis Karuska. Cases number 21S00132 and 21T00311.
Paul Barnett on behalf of Ypsilanti Township.
Laura Willenberg on behalf of the people.
Andrew Banis with and on behalf of Mr. Karuska Dennis, who's present.
Thank you.
So, Your Honor, we were, my client took responsibility for various charges pursuant to a global agreement, and he was in custody at that time. And there was a consensus, without objection from me, certainly, that a referral to CMH would be a good idea. My concern is that maybe that hasn't happened yet and he's still in custody. So I'm hoping if that hasn't happened yet, it could happen soon.
The referral was in a different case?
No, we had a breakout room, Your Honor, because I had requested a personal bond on behalf of my client, and we had a breakout room and discussed the issues. And my notes show, I don't have detailed notes about the conversation, but I believe he was referred to CMH for an evaluation while in custody.
He did get referred. Do we know? Let's have another breakout session with probation to see if anyone.
I think there may have been confusion about whether he was in custody or out, but I'm not certain.
Okay.
You have been in custody this whole time?
Yes, we're aware, sir, that you've been in custody. I think the question is whether the mental health program was aware of that. All right. Yeah, breakout room.
There's something they sent. There's like a check that was sent through or something. I feel let you know.
Just sit tight, you're good right now.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're back on the record in the state of Michigan versus Dennis Haruska, as well as Ypsilanti Township versus Dennis Haruska, 21S00132 and 21T00311 respectively. And we've had an opportunity to discuss this matter in a breakout session. It is this court's intent to see if Mr. Haruska could be able to get into the mental health court. If not, then we'll try to find other alternatives. In the interim time period, he may be released to community mental health, to their crisis intervention if he qualifies. Otherwise, we're scheduling this matter for sentencing on August 9th at 10 a.m. All right, Mr. Haruska. Hopefully someone will come out to see you both from CMH as well as from the mental health court. Okay, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you in 1 week, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And now I will give you a breakout room with Mr. Timothy Scott.
Thank you.
I'm done. No, I gotta wait 1 more week for the court. Yeah, I'm done. All right, and I'm back. Look, I gotta wait 1 week for the
Back on the record, the court will recall the case of State of Michigan versus Timothy Scott, 21 FB 1506, as well as 20 FB 1525.
Laura Willenberg on behalf of the people.
Andrew Banis with it on behalf of Mr. Scott. Your Honor, I reviewed the report with Mr. Scott. That was very helpful. He was very candid with me, and I'm sure he will be with you. I explained to him this is a two-step process. First, you want to know whether there's going to be a hearing or not, and the answer to that is no. He's going to admit to testing positive. And then after that, as I explained to him, he and I will have an opportunity to talk to you before sentencing.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Scott, it's my understanding that you intend to waive any right to have a hearing in this matter, and you will admit to the violation. Is that correct, sir? All right, thank you. Will you raise your right hand to be sworn, sir? Do you swear affirm tell truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Ma'am.
Is that yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You can lower your hand, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Did you test positive for alcohol on June 3rd, June 7th, THC on July 9th, alcohol on July 13th, THC on July 15th, THC on July 19th. You missed July 20th and the 23rd, and you were positive for alcohol on July 29th.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Find that there's a factual basis for the violation. And that it has been knowingly entered into. You also failed to enroll in the Accountable Choices program?
Actually, Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. He thinks he did that. So if we could, I don't know if we could discuss that. I don't think he wants to plead guilty to that one. He did usually admit to the test results.
And what about the Community Corrections Outpatient Program?
I'm into that. The
You
little
said,
Don Farms class. I'm into that. I got a class today at 4 o'clock.
oh, you are in that class? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You may proceed, Mr. Banis. I think we're at the sentencing stage.
Thank you, Your Honor. There's a few things. Well, first of all, he's asking that you follow the recommendation and don't sentence him to jail. I went over the recommendation of 5 days community work program. The Accountable Choices program, he is in the CCOP. As he told you, he believes he completed the Accountable Choices program. So perhaps we can at some point have a discussion about whether he's actually in that, or maybe he's thinking it's a different program. So that might be.
I completed like 2 programs already, and then I'm enrolled in the other 2 programs, and then including AA.
Right. So in addition, Your Honor, he's doing AA 2 times a week. He recently got a sponsor, which is a good thing, obviously. He has a full-time job working 6 days a week. And my understanding is he's on a GPS tether. He actually has a request. He says he has no problem going wherever he's not supposed to go. And so he'd asked for the GPS tether to come off, but he actually asked for it to be replaced with an alcohol tether because, and he understands there's a cost, and I don't know if the testing could be reduced, but like I heard from, I think one other client somewhat recently, is alcohol tether would be a helpful additional incentive to comply with the court's orders.
I think his request to have the tether switched to a alcohol tether, it makes sense. I think that's appropriate, and that's what we should do. And that is what I will order. I'm glad that he's in AA and he's doing the classes, and that he's getting a sponsor, because it looks like it's very, very much needed. He's having a hard time.
Yeah, and he'll tell you that. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Is there anything you want to say before I continue with sentencing, sir? I think we have a delay. Mr. Scott, are you frozen, sir?
Excuse me?
It looked like your screen was frozen. Is there anything
It
you
was.
yeah, is there anything you want to say to me prior to sentencing, sir?
I think I would like the GP.
Yes, we're gonna stop your video so
Yeah.
we can hear you. Mr. Scott, we couldn't make out anything you said if you did say something, sir.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I said, yeah, I like the GPS to come off, and then I like the alcohol tether. I don't know, my screen is froze now.
All right, no, we can hear you just fine. We just stopped your screen sharing.
Okay.
Um,
So, and I'm doing everything I can to, complete this and do everything. Like I'm in the classes, I'm in AA. I just got a sponsor like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So I'm really trying, but my alcohol, the drinking is the problem.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Heaton, what about the fact that he says he did some of the accountable choices classes, or that's a 52-week program, so I don't.
Yes, Your Honor. So he actually hasn't signed up for the Accountable Choices program. I've spoken with the manager of that program, and they were unable to get in contact with him. So I made sure I provided them there was a problem with the email they had, and there's a different phone number. So they should be contacting him this week. But yeah, that's at least 26-week long program.
Yeah, it's until November 26th.
At a minimum. And I was thinking that possibly it would be in his best interest to complete the community corrections outpatient first.
Okay.
And then go to the better choices, just because it is, it does take a considerable amount of time, and it seems that alcohol is possibly the main issue.
Yes.
So which class is that? So, because I'm like kind of confused because I don't know. It's not the non-farm class?
No, CCOP, the Don Farms class?
Yes.
No, that's a completely different program. It's the batterers intervention program, because you have a domestic violence charge also. So that's the domestic violence.
That's not the MAD class, Mothers Against Drunk Driving?
No, that's where your Mothers Against Drug Driving is a class that shows you the effects of drinking and driving are. This is a domestic violence class. You got a couple of things going on at the same time, and that's why Mr. Heaton is recommending, and I think rightly so, that you finish we get the alcohol issue under control first, and you finish those classes related to the substance uses before we move on to the domestic violence cases. Because that's a batterer's intervention. It teaches you how to think differently. And I don't know, Mr. Heaton, I think Better Choices might be a more optimal program for him. And then the other part of that is, depending on where we are, he may end up having to do MRT as opposed to.
What's that?
It's a different program, a little bit shorter time frame. Just depends on where we are, and we can get you on track in time. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we need you to complete the CCOP program that you are in right now at Community Corrections. And then you're gonna speak to Mr. Heaton and he'll figure out which program he's gonna get you into next. Okay?
Okay. And then is it possible he can send me his information? Because I don't have his information.
Certainly.
'Cause I don't have
Are
no
you able
contact.
to look in the chat box, sir?
Yes.
You can call him at the same phone number that you call probation department. Do you have that?
I got the community corrections phone number. I don't have.
All right. Can you write this down?
1 second.
That's not it.
Ready?
734
734
483
483
7336.
7336
Yes.
734
483
483
7336.
7336. I got it.
Okay. And because of all your violations, you're sentenced to 5 days of community work program, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So reach out to Mr. Heaton and get a better understanding of what you have to do. You got a lot going on because you got two very, okay, that might not be the best word, but you got two serious cases going on, okay? So that's why you got a lot that you have to get done, and it's best to stay in communication with Mr. Heaton as much as possible so you can make sure those are ordered properly, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Thank you. Good luck with it all, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, State of Michigan versus Javion Miller, case number 19 FB 1674 FY.
Laura Willenberg on behalf of the people.
Andrew Banis on behalf of Javion Miller. So, Your Honor.
Time scheduled for violation of probation.
Yes, Your Honor. Most recently, I called Mr. Miller yesterday. I did speak with someone who said they would convey my cell phone to him and the message about court, but I have not heard back since then.
He does appear to have a bench warrant out of 22nd Circuit for a traffic offense of some sort. And he has failed to appear on 1, 2, he failed to appear on October 29th of 2019 and remained on absconder status until July 7th of 2020, where he came to he'd be arraigned before the magistrate, and who was then given him a bond of $10,000, cash as surety. No, I'm sorry. He was arraigned before the magistrate and given PR. Then he failed to appear at the next court date, which he was set at that time on August 11th. And then a bench warrant for $10,000 cash as surety was issued, and he was arraigned again. So he was gone a whole year and came back and was given another PR bond. Ms. Willenberg.
Your Honor, given that information and that he was arraigned recently and told to contact probation agent within 24 hours and failed to do so, I'm going to request a bench warrant.
Bench warrant in this case, $10,000 cash or surety. I'll be calling the Barad Scott case that's next. State of Michigan versus Barad Scott, 21S0166. 21S00136. 21S00299, 21S00362, in Ypsilanti Township versus Baraj Scott, 21T00328, and 21W00171, and 21W000269. And that, I'm sorry, one of them I got wrong, 21W001701 is that ticket number. Prosecutors, please place your appearances on the record, starting with Ms. Willenbring.
Laura Willenbring on behalf of the people.
Paul Barnett on behalf of Ypsilanti Township.
Andrew Banis, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Baraj Scott.
All right, Mr. Scott was originally scheduled on all of these matters back on June 28th, and he failed to appear. So I
Your
set
Honor,
a show cause and pretrial today.
Your Honor, unfortunately, I haven't been able to reach Mr. Scott. I tried again this past weekend. I do have some information which I think is relevant, though. He has, I believe, one open felony case, 21 FB 1550. The probable cause conference in that is scheduled for August 12th. Now, a motion for competency evaluation was filed, and I'm very sure, although, you know, from my notes and speaking to other public defenders, that he did the evaluation back in May. A Dr. Garver contacted me, although that was not my case, but for some reason she contacted me, and then I tried to follow up. We have not received the report yet. And also Mike Gaddy confirmed to me, because he represented Mr. Scott in that felony case at one point. We haven't received the report. So this morning I called the main number at the Forensics Center and got their records department. There was a June 8th letter that was sent to our office. I haven't seen it, but I'm told by the Forensics Center that it says the report is delayed, but will be issued promptly after receiving additional information and documents, perhaps. So having said all that, I was going to ask, even though I recognized the very large number of cases, I was going to ask for an adjournment so we can get that report. Everything, all my investigation shows it hasn't been issued yet.
Thank you. Mr. Barnett.
I mean, that's all well and good, but we need Mr. Scott here, so I'm going to ask for a bench warrant.
Thank you. Ms. Willenbring.
Your Honor, I also looked in the file where the competency referral was submitted, and I don't have any additional information that was completed. I do see that June 6th letter that they received additional information or release of information from Mr. Scott. I do see that he failed to appear for that felony case on July 22nd as well. Given that he's not here today and failed to appear last time, I will move for a bench warrant as well.
Thank you. In each of these matters, Mr. Scott was given an opportunity to be present here in court today. Given that he has not appeared in felony court also, it appears.
Your Honor, you're muted if you.
Oh, that's how that happens. Apparently I do it with the files.
The last we heard was given that he didn't appear in felony court.
And it appears that he is no longer showing up for us here in court without some assistance. So at this point in time, I'm going to issue a bench warrant for Mr. Scott. I do understand that there's an outstanding competency issue going on. However, that's been 2 months, so maybe that his non-presence has something to do with the delay in the report occurring as well. So once we get him here, I'm certain we can get these cases moving forward. I will go through these one at a time. 21S00166. Bond in that case is $2,500, 10%. That is a disturbing the peace and disorderly person jostling case. State of Michigan versus Barad Scott, 21S00136 is a disturbing the peace and trespass case. That also is $2,500, 10%. 21S00299, which is a police officer assaulting and resisting obstructing. That is $10,000, 10%. 21S00362, which is a trespass case, $2,500, 10%. And then 21T00328, which is a trespass upon lands case. That is also $2,500, 10%. And 21W000269 is $2,500, 10%, as well as 21W001701. And unless I missed something, that is our docket for today.
We'll see everybody later.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
It's in recess.